So I just came up with this brilliant idea because I had to do a light change, and I think I'm just gonna break this down into 5 different videos, or 6. So
Hi,
that people
editor
don't have
Wani
to
here.
sit through
So at
1
this
hour with
point,
me on my
please
vacations,
ignore
because literally
the lack of intro and
it's
outro because
generosity.
it's supposed to
No,
be back
but
to
yeah,
back.
okay.
But
Oh,
yeah, I
sorry,
hope this
it's
format works out for
1:05.
you, and good
Alright,
luck on your
let's
journey.
start with this week's video. If you are here, you probably have a New Year's resolution into passing the B2 French exam. What does the B2 French exam mean? For me, it meant that I had what was required language-wise to get into university in Paris. Sometimes people get it for jobs, and each level really depends on what you need to enter somewhat into the French system. So let's get started. The intro. So results will be at the end. Just, it's definitely a rigorous 5-month plan. At first, I was thinking to do a checklist, but I thought to myself, that's really exhausting. Like, it's exhausting to write, and it's also exhausting to want to do. And I think like this year, like one of my resolutions is to have fun making these videos. So I really thought about, okay, if I have fun with how I want to transfer ideas, or had fun in a format or something that makes me want to do it, I think then the person receiving the information might be more inspired to do the same thing. Also, a little disclaimer, I live right across a park, so this is where people express themselves freely and a bit too loudly, but I do think that for one of the few spaces left in public space where people can do what they want to do, good on them. Not great for the video, but I think it's cool. Yeah. Okay. What do I want to say? So a feedback that I got from a lot of my friends is jump cuts or killing dead air. I agree, because I myself get bored, like all of us, as we are trained with social media. But as you may have noticed, my videos are in black and white. One, it's like a stylistic thing, but two, I kind of wanted to slow things down. So I hope you enjoy what I'm trying to do. Back to the point of this video. So what I'm gonna do is break down month by month. For me, it was 5 months of how I succeeded into getting my B2 exam. And I have a lot of tips, a bit too much, so my problem is going to try to be as concise as possible. As well as just know, like, I'm balanced. My exams start in 2 days, so like editing, I'm gonna try to keep it really simple. But my aim is to be as helpful as possible, but not overwhelming. There we go. So I will show you my results at the end. Just something to look forward to, like, oh wow, does it work? But just know that it's not an easy path, because I googled it a lot to see if this thing that I wanted to do was feasible, because I have the habit of trying to do a lot. ask anyone close to me. And most of the time from A2 or A1, which was my level because I just watched French movies, I didn't understand anything without subtitles on. I went to like casual French classes once a week, didn't do homework because it wasn't that important to me. So I would say like I was A1, A2, barely A2 because I couldn't even conjugate, which I'm gonna talk about a lot. But yeah, my point is that like from A2 to B2, it usually takes 1 to 2 years, I read, or that was what I was reading, because I really needed to feel like I wasn't wasting my time trying to make this crazy deadline. But if this is what you really want, I know like anything's possible, and I did this in LA, so I definitely had the American drive. So okay, results at the end. And this video is dedicated to Theo, because obviously I'm not at the point of doing sponsorships. But also, that being said, nothing that I'm like, none of the books are sponsored, none of the podcasts sponsored, none of like the one of the sites that I'm just like, that's what I really use, which is online, which is like very flexible. None of it's sponsored. But back to Theo. So this video was inspired by Theo when we went up to the Eiffel Tower, which was super romantic. And we basically just agreed to do a German-French exchange once a week. So I'm planning to take German in school next year, but I've done German for about 2 months before I came to Paris because I stayed in Berlin for 2 months. I had to drop it because there were too many deadlines that I had. I was writing a book, I was traveling, so giving that a pause for a little bit, but I think it'll be fun. So the point is that I was about to write all this information for Theo, but I thought to myself, it would be much more digestible if I just made it into a video, because I give everyone this advice all the time. Because I meet a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of them like ask me, how did I do it? Is it possible? But then at some point, like when I overwhelm them with like, oh yeah, I did this many hours or whatever, they kind of turn off. So I think, because it's a lot of work, but I think like in a video format, you know, you can visit, take what you will. This part might work, that part might not work. If you want to reorganize your schedule, it's kind of like here and there. You can pick and choose. But if you want to do this like as a goal within 5 months, because what you should know, if I did this in America, Los Angeles. So what you need to know is that each Alliance Française has exams at specific periods of times during the year. It's not, I'm not sure if this has changed, but I think that they do it maybe 3 times a year or 4 times a year. It's not frequent. So for whatever deadline you need this by, I would definitely start with picking which exam and what time when you're gonna do it. My other advice is that if you're thinking about doing A2, you might as well, or B1. I genuinely think that B2 is the thing that will get you into most, it's the like A1, B2. I don't think there's an A1. I could be wrong. There could be an A1, but I think B2 is the thing that like would get you a job or get you into university. It's kind of like the C1, C2 is native. That's probably if you want to do research, get into a master's program. But bachelor's and most entry-level positions, requirements, it's usually B2. So dedication, sponsorship. Okay, so this is breakdown by months. It's a process, not a checklist. I already said that. And the most important thing to remember to do is to breathe through it, because it's a lot of information, but I mean, I physically did this and I'm still in one shape relatively. And the most important thing is to ignore anyone who thinks that this is impossible, especially and even yourself. Because I had a teacher who met me at a cafe, and I was telling him all these dreams of like why I wanted to do philosophy. And for me personally, I just wanted to contextualize my ideas, because I want to be a writer for film or for novels. And I just, yeah, for me, like I had a personal reason, and then I can go into this another video because I really want to keep this concise. So yeah, I talked to this teacher in this cafe about my dreams, and I was just like, no, like it's crazy. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's too short of a time. And he's like, pourquoi pas, Wani? Like, why not? And yeah, I think sometimes you just really need that kind of attitude. And if you, I don't even want to think like if you fail, but why not? Let's just stick with why not, because why not?